I remember when I was about 18 years old, me and my two other buddies, we would go to the movie theaters like every single weekend. We were there Friday night. And we didn't necessarily go for the movie. I mean, we were excited about the movie, but we were really there for the girls, bro. Where I lived every Friday night, bro, the cuties were at the movies. And I remember one time specifically, this one Friday night, there was so many young kids there, me and my bros included. And there was one girl that really caught my eye, and I caught her eye as well. And man, I thought this girl was so attractive, bro. And I knew deep down I wouldn't do anything. So I thought maybe I could kind of do something to seduce her or something, so that way she can come up to me. Cause in my head I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna do nothing, bro. This girl's way out of my league. And so I remember when we first looked at each other in the eyes from across the way. I remember we looked at each other like this, I looked away, and then I thought it would be so dope to do one of these. So I was walking away, and I did the look back like this, raised my eyebrows, and went. No joke, bro. I thought that'd be so dope, bro. I mean, what the heck is that? With the little squeaky sound in there too and everything. Like, come on, I thought that'd be super seductive for her or something like that. And then I never saw the girl ever again. And I remember I told my bro, I was like, yo, there's a super cute chick out there, bro, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, so, did you do anything? And I was like, well, no, but bro, she looked at me, bro. She gave me the eye. And he slapped me upside the head and said, bro, what a freaking clown. You may not be as bad off as I was, but whatever the case, when you're in a circumstance like this, when you see an attractive woman, and I'm talking to my younger self right now, I'm talking to younger Dre, you gotta grab your nuts, bro. You gotta take action. A strategy I used to use was the countdown strategy, which basically meant you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you move. You talk to the girl. You don't even think about it. You don't even give yourself time to think about it, because if you do, then you just overthink. And then you just take no action whatsoever. I always used to think in my head, bro, I need to wait for the perfect moment, dude. The moment's just not right. But what happens is when you wait for that perfect moment, the more your level of attractiveness actually starts to decline to the woman in her perspective. And hey, look, do you know what true courage is? True courage is you feel the fear, but you do it anyways. And honestly, bro, that's the fun of it. I mean, that's what I always thought. It's guys get so worked up and so nervous and so full of anxiety, and it's that's the fun of it, bro. That's what makes dating fun. That's what makes, going up and talking to that girl, your future wife. That's just that's the story you tell. At the end of the day, when you look back, when you have your grandkids in your lap, you talk about those moments. You say, back when I was 16 years old, I was so nervous, my heart was pumping, but there I saw the most beautiful girl in the world, right? It's those cheesy stories you get to tell. So don't let that fear, don't let that anxiety stop you, bro, because that's such a special moment, dude. So hey, look, there's always gonna be that level of fear, of anxiety. That's just the way of the game. And what will separate you from everybody else is that you're the one who actually takes action, while 99% of the guys don't. While 99% of the guys do one of these. And so, hey, look, bro, it's kind of wild, but when we see an attractive girl, it's you get all those butterflies. Why? Because this is rare. You see this radiant beauty just beaming on you, and there's just so much value right in front of you in your presence. But the thing that you have to watch out for, all of us men, and we're so capable of doing this, is put a woman who's on such a high magnitude, such a high scale. You got to be careful of putting her on such a massive pedestal, because when you do that, when you put her so far up here above you, and you're constantly just looking up to her, it's almost like you start getting these feelings you can't measure up. She's up here, you're down here, and you subconsciously put yourself in this she's the queen, I'm the peasant type of mentality. And I feel that's sometimes our automatic psychological setting as men. And so you gotta realize, bro, that beauty, it's fleeting. Yes, she's beautiful. Yes, she's gorgeous. Every man wants a beautiful wife, a beautiful girl by his side. And that's a blessing, don't get me wrong. To be able to wake up to that person, that beautiful person every single day, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, a woman is just a woman, bro. She freaking does all the same stuff a guy does, pretty much. Takes big old dumps. She freaking, we don't need to go into it. It was something, we don't like to think about that. So let's not think about it. But anyways, hey, look, that nervousness that you get, even the most confident guy, even the most attractive guy, he's gonna feel that. He's gonna feel the same things as you do. So you gotta think to yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Ooh, she says no. Oh no. So what, dude? Put this into consideration. Even your best looking guys, they get rejected all the time, bro. They do. And what happens is, if you're not used to always going up to girls all the time like I was, what happens is when you start to go up to girls and nothing becomes of it, you know, she says no, you do get rejected, you start to get used to it, honestly. When you get rejected 4 times, 5 times, 6, 10, 20, 30 times, it just kind of becomes not that big of a deal. You're like, all right, well, on to the next then. You got to realize that, hey, look, all you're doing is just, you're trying to go through all the wrong to get to the right. All you're waiting is for that one, right? So your whole objective is just to put yourself out there. That's all it is. And those guys that you do see that are, you know, they get more women than your typical guy, it's simply because at one point they just started putting themselves out there. Simple as that. Now, I know there's this whole trend of like, oh, just ignore women. You know, take this season in your life to just stay on your path, king, and don't let women distract you at all. And you know, I've said this statement before. I've said something similar to this. And I get the whole idea of, you know, staying mission focused and getting your life right first before going out into the dating scene. Totally get it. But what you don't want to do is taking that concept of totally just ignoring women and make that an excuse for being antisocial, for damming up and not pushing yourself, not stepping outside of your comfort zones and talking to that girl. Because if you do that, you know, say you're building up your life, you're building up an empire, starting your own business, say you do got all that, you got the money, you got the success, you got the influence, but then it's time to go into the dating world, now you're just a schmuck. So my advice to you, and I heard this from Elisha Long, talk to women, bro. Don't ignore them. Talk to women, talk to people, talk to everybody. If you're always trying to be like just like little Mr. Lone Wolf and like stay secluded in your own little like bedroom all the time and not get out, not go outdoors, not hang out with anybody, not talk to anybody, because I have to stay mission focused. I gotta, you know, I'm ignoring everybody, right? Yeah, you know, this is part of my strategy. No, bro. It's like warriors or Vikings. Imagine if they were always trying to be Mr. Lone Wolf. What would happen? They just die. They need community. They need tribe. There's no way anybody can survive on their own, metaphorically and literally. So you gotta realize this. As a man, you actually handicap yourself when you don't talk to women. Because if you stay secluded year after year after year, and then eventually, you know, you do come face to face with that girl and you do try attempting to talk to her and you just, you know, you come off awkward and weird, girls are gonna see that and be turned off. And they're gonna actually sense like that peasant-like energy in you. And at the end of the day, bro, like a true feminine, traditional woman, she doesn't want to be put on some pedestal. She doesn't want that, bro. Maybe if she's like a modern day chick, a chick who's like immersed into culture and like feminism, okay, maybe. But the type of girl that you want, she ain't gonna like that, bro. So don't put her on that kind of pedestal like that. It's actually the opposite of what they want. Girls, they don't want to look down, they want to look up at their man. I mean that as in like a way like they want to look up to their man, dude. Like not just physically, but they want to look up to him as the king, as the leader, as authority. So check it out. What do girls actually want from us? How do they want us to talk to them? They just want you to execute. No BS. No trying to be Mr. Seducer or trying to be Mr. Comedian guy. No dancing around, trying to like spit a whole bunch of jokes or spit some game. I did this with Bree, bro, and like in the very beginning, I remember the first 2 times I hung out with Bree, we hung out with like a group of friends. Like I had my friends, she had hers, we all kind of came together, and the whole time, bro, like I just kept trying to be like really nice to her, right? Just trying to be like super sweet and show her that like I'm good husband material, like look at what I can do for you, which was nice. It was a kind gesture. But I would like get her like a candy bar, or I remember we went to this trampoline place all together and like I bought her ticket. There was even one point where afterwards we went out into the parking lot just alone, secluded for just a second, and I grabbed my longboard and I had us like riding longboards together, and I thought for sure, like that was always like kind of my go-to move when I was with girls. I would always bring out the longboards and kind of teach them how to longboard type of thing. I always thought if I could just do that, if I could just get them on the longboard, it's a wrap. And okay, cool, like those are all cool things to do. Like I'm not saying not to do those things. I'm not saying not to do nice kind gestures and showcase your desire for her. I'm not saying that. But what I kept doing, for instance in this circumstance, is I just kept dancing around. I kept doing all these nice things, but I never actually went to her and told her how I truly feel about her, like how I actually want to take her out on a date, solo, one-on-one. I never executed anything. I never had any plans. I never had like any like true motives, any true vision or direction. And so I remember after a few weeks, she eventually texted me, and I got this big, like kind of long text, is like maybe like 2 paragraphs long, of her just basically, if I had to summarize it, saying, what is this? Like, I don't know if you really like me or if you're just kind of feeling things out. Like, where do you see things going here? And in my head this whole time, I'm like, I thought I kind of made it known by like doing nice things. And it's like, nah, bro. So what I learned is that can't keep dancing around. Stop BSing. Just execute, bro. Be straightforward with her. And I realized the reason why I was doing this all the time and I wasn't just being straightforward is because I was scared. I wasn't grabbing my nuts. All in all, what I'm trying to say here is, hey, look, whether you're talking to a girl or you see a girl for the first time, bro, just grab your nuts, go up and talk to her. No BS. Be straightforward. You can even like open up the conversation with the most like basic mundane thing ever. Like it's not that serious, bro. Say in Starbucks, you're in line waiting to order your coffee and you look back and there's this beautiful, gorgeous girl. You could say something so basic and kind of just like pointless. You could be like, hey, excuse me, hey, I don't really come to Starbucks that often. What's your go-to? What do you think I should get? Or say like you're at the gym, you see a super attractive girl, you could walk up to her and be like, hey, do you mind taking a quick video of me doing this set really quick? I'm trying to perfect my form, so I kind of want to see what I look like. I don't know, if it was me, I would maybe make it a little cheeky after, and I would maybe look back at the footage and be like, okay, yeah, this was good, but can we do it one more time? And but this time I need some enthusiasm from you. Like I need you to kind of like root for me and be like, come on, Dre, you're number one. And be like, nah, I'm just playing. I don't know, that's just me. I'd kind of just be like a little light, a little loose with it. And then right after you do that, right after you just kind of open things up, that's all you're trying to do. Just something so simple, so basic, so mundane, just to open it up and then execute. Be straightforward and be like, hey, so I'm not sure what you're up to later, but hey, there's this really good restaurant up the street. It's like my go-to spot. I'd love to take you. What you think? And me personally, I would stay away from things like, hey, do you wanna, or would you like to? Not that that's like a totally make or break. Like if you do that, like it's totally fine. I personally just, I like to be a little bit more aggressive, a little more masculine. When you say things like, would you like to, or what do you think? It's like, it could seem a little bit unconfident. Instead of saying like, oh, would you like to go to sushi with me? I would say something more like, hey, you like sushi? There's this bomb sushi restaurant around the corner. I'd love to take you. And whatever her answer is, just stay cool. Keep your energy in your nuts. If she says yes, cool, she's excited, she'd love to go with you. All right, cool, I'll pick you up at 7 cool. And if she says no, then all right, that's cool too. It was nice to meet you and I'll see you around. And that's it, bro. Like there's no Hollywood scripts, there's no like super high energy and like trying to make her like you and showing all this enthusiasm. Just be cool, be a man, be your most masculine self. The number one thing that you want to stay away from is just trying too hard. My thing was always around like high school, I would always try to impress girls. I remember my neighbor was over one time. She was also in my class and she had brought over her friend and we had a trampoline in the backyard, and me and my brother David, we'd always we were really good on the trampoline. We could do like backflips and all these different kind of twists in the air and stuff like that. And I remember these two girls were over and I thought, ooh, this is my time to like really impress them. And I got my dog. She's a French bulldog and her name was Esther. And I remember I grabbed her, and at the time she was just a little puppy. And I was like, hey ladies, check this out. And so I remember I had her in my arm like this, and I thought it'd be so cool to do a flip with her in my arms. And so I was bouncing, and I do a whole backflip. And as I do the backflip, the dog freaking flies out of my hands, bro. And I'm midair and I'm like, oh no. I'm trying to grab her and then I land, and right when I land, I don't know where the dog's at. I'm like looking around and I don't see the dog. And the girls, all you hear is and I'm stressing, bro. I'm like, I just made myself look like an idiot, first of all, and my dog probably just died. And so I'm there and I'm looking around, I don't see the dog, and I look back and the dog is halfway, like the springs on the outside of the trampoline, she's halfway in, halfway out like this. And thank God my dog was okay. Thank God she didn't land on her head or something and die. And both the girls were like, Dre, they're so mad at me. They're like, that wasn't cool. They're like, that was so messed up. And I just felt like an idiot, bro. I remember I walked away, went straight in my house, and my brother came in after me. He's like, bro, he's like, you're so dumb, dude. He's like, why did you do that? He's like, that's what he told me. He's like, you always do dumb stuff like this. And so I think like from like that point forward, I was like, bro, I'm not gonna try hard with girls anymore, bro. I'm just gonna be cool. I'm just gonna be just chill, bro. Now moving on. So I know I've always talked about here on this channel that, to put the spotlight on the girl, make sure that you are genuinely intrigued with her and showing interest in her, what she's about, her interests, the whole 9 yards, which is great. But at the same time, bro, like you also have to show what you're about as well. You got to be able to step up to the plate. And the best way to do that without coming off cocky and arrogant, like, look at me, these are all my achievements, this is what I've done. The best way to do that, because those type of guys are always notice the guys that really have nothing going on. You know, guys who have nothing going on, they're always talking the loudest. And so the best way to just naturally have that confidence exude out of you and to kind of like present yourself in a grand manner is you actually need something going on in your life, bro. Like you actually need to be mission focused. I remember when I was first out on my first date with Bree, we were by this pond and I was asking in the beginning a lot about her and about her life, and I was asking questions about her, and then all of a sudden when she started asking me questions, like I didn't even have to force anything. I was just kind of talking about my life. And then because at that time, you know, I was achieving a lot of great success in a lot of different things, those stories and the stuff that I was going through just naturally kind of started to exude out of me. Like I didn't have to like stand on some pedestal and like spew out all these like different achievements that I was hitting at the time, right? It just came out very organically and naturally, and it came out in a way, it's kind of hard to explain, but it came out in a way that was just so pure, that was so nonchalant, rather than like cocky, you know, like I did this and that. Like I was literally just answering her questions, and every answer that I had was super dope because I was doing really good in my life, right? This is why I tell you guys, like, if you're single, like, great, bro, work on you right now. Work on your mission, work on building your life up, and then once you build up a type of lifestyle that's worthy of a woman, then these girls are gonna start like kind of flocking to you, bro, and they're gonna start seeing this lifestyle and being like, I want to be a part of that. I mean, imagine how much more effective it would be if, say, you were in my shoes, but you were single, right? Of course. She asks you, so what do you do for a living? And you could say, oh, you know, I'm a YouTuber. I've been doing it for like 10 years or so. Got a pretty good online business. I also run a hair brand company. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, how's that going? You know, how many subscribers do you have? Well, you know, I've been working on it for 10 years, so I've been pretty consistent over the years. So I reached 1 million, which is cool. You know, I'm pretty blessed. And just kind of playing it low key like that. Imagine being in that position opposed to, yeah, you know, I work at Pizza Hut. No shade to anybody who works at Pizza Hut, just saying. And right now, you know, I'm bulking right now. Yeah, this is my bulking season. Usually this time of year, you know, like I eat like 3,500 calories a day. And then you should see me like in the summertime though. The summertime I get lean, dude. Like I have this vein that like, it comes up my arm and yeah, you know, it may not seem like I have a lot going on right now, but you know, I just take things kind of like day by day, you know, like I kind of just like, I live in the moment, right? Like yeah. And she's gonna sit there and just be like, okay, well, all right, obviously this guy doesn't have a lot going on in his life. He has no vision, no direction. But this guy who does YouTube, he looks like he has some pretty good things going on. Looks like he has a lot of vision, a lot of focus. You know, he's been doing this for a while. He's stayed consistent. Okay, I'm kind of interested in this YouTube guy. It's actually kind of funny. It made me think about the movie Titanic because Rose, she leaves her man, right? The rich, wealthy guy. I mean, I know he was like a jerk off. He was just a douchebag. But she leaves him. She leaves all this security to go with this guy named Jack. And this guy, Jack, yeah, he's charming, yeah, he's sweet. But I feel like the movie's a little bit unrealistic, kind of. I mean, yeah, it might seem fun for her because he's actually, like, genuinely in love with her. But at the same time, bro, like, say Jack would have lived and he would have got on that, like, little wooden board with her and they would have both lived through that. Imagine if that did happen. Honestly, bro, I don't know if things really would have worked out. The guy was kind of like a lowlife. He had nothing going on, nothing going for himself. I mean, eventually, once they're past the, like, romantic and love stage, she's gonna look at him and be like, you're kind of like a little loser kind of guy. And honestly, me personally, I think she would have been eventually turned off and then she would have left him to go back with a guy like her ex, like or at least like a rich guy, but that was actually like nice and genuinely loved her. So me personally, I don't think Jack, yeah, he would have got the girl at first because he was good looking and charming, but I don't think he would have been able to keep Rose. Just my opinion. So the best thing for you as a man to really show yourself worthy and really have something to present to her, you know, to show her your value, to show her your worth, is to actually have something going on in your life, actually have vision and direction. You know, this is the cold hard truth. And I'm not saying you have to be like some top G first and then you can go out and date. Not really saying that. But you gotta have some aim, because like most guys these days, bro, they have no aim. They're like a arrow in, you know, shooting in the dark blindfolded, right? Everything's just kind of up in the air, like, you know, I'm trying this out, so we'll kind of see how things go, you know? And they're kind of just like twiddling their thumbs. A girl's gonna look at that and just be like, you know, this guy's kind of like a weasel. So I would just be a lot more direct and have that vision, have that focus. And the more she asks those questions, like for me, I would really like tie up those loose ends, and I wouldn't do it like in a super cocky manner. I would just real subtle, you know, like I said, I've been doing YouTube for about 10 years now, and I'm about to completely take over the whole self-improvement space. You know, me and my team, we just got through releasing this program, and it's doing amazing. And we got this program coming out, that one coming out, and we got these email sequences that we're working on, and that's just going to generate us a pretty good income. So I'm pretty excited for that, and I'm just going to kind of be low-key like that. Like I'm showing enthusiasm, but I'm doing it just in a calm, cool, and collected manner. And you do that, bro. You present her with, I guess you could say, like evidence. You show her that kind of layout, that blueprint of what you got going on in your life. That right there, that's how a girl wants you to talk to her. The number one thing a woman wants is security, right? So provide her with that. I did this with Bree in the very beginning. Like I told you guys a little while back, I told you that it wasn't like I had nothing going on in my life, but at the time when I met her, I wasn't making any money. I was making $300 a month, but I had vision and direction. And I told her to her face, hey, if you just hold tight, if you just stick by my side, I'm gonna give you the most beautiful life. You watch and see. And then I made sure I made that happen. So at the end of the day, bro, this is exactly how a girl wants you to talk to her. She wants you to be straightforward. She doesn't want to BS her, a guy who's just full of hot air. She wants you to be direct. She wants to be able to not just hear you talk and talk about your achievements and what you're about to do. She wants you to show her what you're about. And if you can show her, hey, this is the type of lifestyle you're going to get if you're with me, if she sees that fire in your eyes, she's going to want to join you. She's going to want to lock arms with you. And again, bro, I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but if you really have a lot going on in your life, if you really have direction for your life, you're not going to have to talk that much, bro. It'll just exude out of you. Your lifestyle will show itself. If you're truly into business, if you're truly into networking, if you're truly into self-improvement, that stuff's going to exude out of you, bro. She's going to see the way that not only you talk to her, but the way you talk to other people, the way that you talk to her parents. You're gonna have this different aura about you. You're gonna have this different presence that most guys don't have. So you won't necessarily have to even talk too much to prove yourself. It's just going to exude out of you. And this can't be faked. This can't be forged. When you really do what you need to do as a man, like I said, it exudes out of you. You won't have to be sitting here thinking about, oh, how am I supposed to talk to a woman, and what do I present her with, and how do I show my value? No, bro, you just kind of lean back into yourself, and it completely exudes. That's why I tell you guys, get mission focused first, have a plan, have a path, start building up a type of lifestyle that a woman is going to just want to be a part of. And on top of that, bro, the more laser focused you are, the more that you're chasing God's plan for your life, the more you walk that narrow path, bro, and you occasionally just talk to women when God might present you with one and put one in your path, the more confident you're going to become. The more practice you get, the more progression you're going to get. The more practice you get, the more you're going to progress, right? Because practice makes, not perfect, but it makes progression. So to finish off this video, bro, hey, look, you are good enough, bro. You are enough. Don't ever put that girl on that pedestal like that. Instead, stay in your path, stay focused, and eventually when you just keep working on yourself, you won't even have to really try. And girls will just kind of start to naturally become in awe of you. So with that said, hey, appreciate you, my brother. Please give this video a thumbs up. That would help me out a lot. And also, the Masculine Masterclass is available now. Be sure to get access to it down in the description below. And hey, hit the notifications button to be informed when I drop that next video. And check out this one right here if you want to take your life to that next level as a man. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace always.